Men, rally to me! Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Total War Rise of Mordor. Today we are on a spectacular new custom map which goes ahead and adds in a really cool Gondorian city, or I guess more village rather than anything else, which will be the facilitator for the battle today. We do have the men of the Last Alliance and the army of Darmroth over here ready to defend their lines as best as they can, as the Easterlings along with an army of Harad march towards them to seek their doom. So it's going to be an interesting one. The scenario behind this battle is that this army of the Last Alliance moved to meet up with the King of the Mountain. However, no King of the Mountain has arrived, and soon they found themselves surrounded by the Easterlings, and they have been betrayed by the men of the mountains, and they have gone ahead and stuck an eternal curse on them until their debt is fulfilled. So it should be a really exciting battle. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Also want to take a moment before we do get started, one, to just look at the pure scale of this battle and how awesome that is, but also to take a look at the custom map itself. I really do like the design of it overall. It's kind of quite subtle. There are some really nice details stuck on, like this village right here. It's kind of just like an outpost with some defensive guard towers, and then just, a small village. This is more like an outpost, probably, around to set light to the beacons if they were ever to be called upon. This could be kind of like a garrison outpost for that purpose. I also really do dig that we have like a really cool like river just running through the map. Now this kind of seems like a type of map that would actually work, in a battle, a type of place. I feel like too many times in Total War, the battle maps are just so plain and boring and there's no exciting things to them whatsoever. But just by solely having this river, it kind of creates a nice little land terrain bridge, which, no one can pass. So you can actually kind of understand that maybe a defensive side picked this because they wanted to protect one of their flanks due to their smaller numbers or something. I just really love the detail like that in these maps, and yeah, this should hopefully be a really awesome battle. So quickly, the battle is going to kick off any second now, but just quickly to run through a few of the infantry we have. Over on this side, we do have Darmroth. They're going to be using their archers, along with some of this medium infantry as they reform. The main kind of striking force for Darmroth, though, is going to be these heavier knights. Very deadly, can output a lot of damage and are pretty tanky, alongside their knights as well. These knights are extremely well skilled and will just kind of, if they can get into the back or even just fight enemy cavalry, they'll do a great job. Then for the Last Alliance army, which is kind of a mix of like elves and humans and, Gondor and Arnor, etc. We do have obviously their heavier infantry. We also have some of these kind of elven style swordsmen right here. Obviously they're not elves, but they kind of have, the armor and stuff forged by them. We also have some more bowmen out here as well. Again, I really do dig the lightly armored kind of like shoulder pads and, chest guard. I think that's really cool. And then finally, back here we do have some of the elite elven cavalry. And I'm sure we'll have some, I think the elves are taking up the right flank. Yeah, the elves kind of have their men. Actually, no, there are no elves. The elves only committing cavalry to this fight, or are they archers? Yeah, there's like no elves in this fight. Interesting. Okay, really quickly then, just to take a look, we have some Harad infantry out here, supported by some more of the Umber legions. And then they also have some of these Swords of the Serpent, extremely highly skilled infantry, which will just, kill so much they come up against. We also have some more Spears of the Serpent, over there, along with some war dogs as well, which is kind of cool. And then we finally, over on this side for the runic forces, have some more of these retainers, some bowmen out here who are currently duking it out in this small outpost. And then finally we do have some more Harad archers over here, which are going to kick us off in the battle as the forces of Darmroth charge forward looking for blood, committing themselves into the archers and doing a great amount of damage. And now they're just going to pull out of this engagement. I mean, they've basically completely killed 2 whole units of archers, and now they're just going to fall back to their battle line. Obviously the infantry over here not going to be able to catch them in time, and then they're soon going to be reaching their way back into the range of the Darmroth infantry. God, this battle, this is so awesome. Like, I love how calm it is, like, in these woods and stuff. We're going to get another charge. Oh, that's a good charge. Very impactful there, breaking the first couple ranks. on the enemy forces. I do really enjoy these little outposts. There's 2 of them. There's one there and there's one over here as well. It's just like a really nice contrast to the battle. You know, it gives the feel of scale, because I don't know, it's just quite different over here than it is on the other side of the battlefield. So it feels like you're actually maneuvering around. I definitely do love these, and hopefully people will continue to put out more custom maps, even if you do stuff like this, which obviously took a while to make, especially with the crappy ass tools that the modders have. But, you know, even just, you know, without these buildings, just creating cool battle maps like this, you know, with like a river running through, with like woodland and, you know, maybe a few outposts here and there. I just hope people, you know, don't give up on Attila and continue to make the mods. They are really, really amazing. But anyway, let's get back to a battle. Let's go full focus on them. So we're going to be kicking off with just pure archer fire on this left flank. This is going to be the first initial engagement. God damn, that burning tree. I don't know if trees can burn that quickly. That's going to force some of the Eastling archers back and really just cause them to, you know, re-maneuver their forces. We're seeing quite a few deadly cavalry charges, and, you know, that's going to be it for the Eastlings. They're going to pull back their archers, not wanting to commit anything. But Dormroth are just going ham right now. They form shield wall, and even with a shield wall, that Dormroth cavalry just rips through them and continues to go. The shield wall is maybe the worst possible thing. Oh my god! Even in shield wall, that Dormroth cavalry just killed like the entire unit. Sorry, that is broken right now. I don't care if you class them as infantry. That cavalry charge was beyond OP. I don't care if you're like, oh, well, they're infantry, you shouldn't be able to do that. Like, I mean, these are pretty good heavy cavalry, and they didn't just kill all of these guys. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure these things were in shield wall as well. You know, that's kind of what I expect from a cavalry charge. I'm all up for OP-ass cavalry charges. I mean, let's see it again. Like, I'm all up for OP cavalry charges, but to kill the entire unit with one charge from the front... Okay, that must have been an underlier, because that time was nowhere near as strong. Like, that must... I'm pretty sure they were in shield wall as well, because they formed it. I don't know what happened there, but, you know, this cavalry is going to get what's due to it. One last archer volley as they charge some more archers. They're going to go down. I mean, my god, though, they definitely paid for themselves. Now, I'm all up as well for cavalry in melee combat, holding their own for a while, because obviously heavily armored horses were very hard to take down, even in melee. I feel like a lot of people are skewed, like, from the fact that they always say, like, well, in prolonged combat, you know, the heavy knights will lose. Well, not necessarily. You know, they're very good in combat, even if they are, you know, outnumbered by multiple infantry. It's very hard for the infantry to actually kill someone on top of an armored horse. They can hit it all they want, you know, just cling off the armor and not really have to worry too much. So we have the last Alliance archers volleying off against the forces of Harad. And I think the Harad archers are pretty lightly armored. Yeah, a lot of these like Corsair archers, so no one really too strong. So they're going to probably end up losing this engagement against the last Alliance. And it's going to be very interesting to see if they commit. I think they are. They're going to go quite aggressive over on this side, committing some of their Harad swordsmen. So these guys are pretty basic. Their main kind of attribute is that javelin throw you just saw. And they're going to be flying in, but they're going to be no match. Oh, wow. The Dunedain men-at-arms, along with whatever these guys are, the protectors, the great sword infantry, they're just going to cut these guys down to size. And some cavalry coming in as well. Yeah, these Corsairs are basically just mincemeat. They held no chance whatsoever. I do really dig the way that both players are using their cavalry in conjunction. I can't pronounce that word. What the hell is wrong with me? I like it how they're using it, combining it with their infantry to harass battle lines. You know, I always find it so boring how every single time in quite a lot of other battles, not these guys' battles, but in a lot of battles where people just put their cavalry on the flanks and the cavalry fights for cavalry and that's about it. I really like it when you do have these cavalry charges into infantry, a small skirmish, and then they just retreat off and, you know, look to engage something else. Or maybe if the cavalry is found like lightly armored infantry, they stay in and fight them. I just really dig like just unique and interesting ways to use cavalry and just spice up the battle. I feel like Total War battles in general just suffer from, you know, the same thing over and over again syndrome. So it's always really refreshing to see this. So after that really like explosive start on this side, we've seen a complete slowdown. The halberds coming in probably were a big portion of that. It's very hard to break through them. But you know, even in this little small engagement right now, just nothing's happening considering how explosive it was in the start. Same over here as well. We're just having a heavy archer off right now as everyone else is in like a shield wall formation as both sides just duke out with their missile engagement. The center is also trying to do exactly the same. However, this side is really the one which is just going off. We have some of the Last Alliance cavalry fighting hard against the spears of the serpent on horseback. Obviously, this cavalry from Harad is very well trained. Many of them living like a nomadic lifestyle. But with the conjunction of the infantry and kind of this like Arnorian infantry, I'm not sure they'll be able to break it, especially as, you know, there's just the sheer quality of troops over here for the Last Alliance is really aiding them. You know, these protectors are just giving them such a great advance. And I think we're actually going to be seeing a little engagement over on the other side. Yeah, we're seeing a small little push here, but it's not really going to do much. I think it was just some archers who had run out of ammunition and being charged in. I really think maybe more infantry needs to be committed, and that's exactly what Harad are doing. They're committing 3 more, I guess, regiments of infantry over to this side of the battlefield to help resupply this. They're also turning a lot of their archers over to this side as well, which is a little bit risky because obviously if they use their archers to shoot away the big clumps of infantry here, they're allowing the Last Alliance archers to use their strength. We're also starting to get the first infantry clashes now as the Last Alliance infantry engages against the Harad legionaries. I think the models of these legionaries need to be changed. They're a bit too like pale. They definitely need to have a darker skin complexion, unless these are like maybe mercenaries from Harad, like who have gone ahead and been bought, because obviously I imagine Harad are pretty wealthy. Oh, brutal kill right there. So maybe these are some mercenaries. I mean, let me know if you know if you know this is just kind of like a flavor unit or what. We'll go down the battle line as well. This is something I definitely always love to do. Just maneuver my way down the battlefield, especially in engagements that just go on for miles. That's why I definitely wish the troop size could be increased. I mean, how many men do we have so far? We actually only have 12,000 men. Like, I would love like 20 to 30,000 man battles. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But just imagine this battle with the battle lines this long, and yet we still have like another 2 or 3 reserve lines ready to go in. Because they do a great job in these replays of, you know, expanding the battlefield, having these really interesting engagements throughout the engagement, which kind of feel very, I don't want to say realistic, but these battles feel very, very cool because it's not just, you know, these lines hitting into each other and then whoever wins that wins the battle. There's loads of these little pockets of battles. You know, the left flank maybe engages, and then whatever happens on the left flank, then, you know, other stuff retaliates to it. And you kind of get that feel of these grander engagements and these grander battles because, you know, you have like these left-right flanks, you have these center engagements, you have kind of the right center doing its own thing. And I just really dig that. Going back to the battle though, we are seeing the Elven cavalry, you know, obviously these elite horsemen cutting down whatever remains over there. We do still have the Harad General, the Knights of the Heaven. What the hell do they look like? The Knights of the Heaven. Right here again, I assume this is like a mercenary company which have come to aid Harad in this battle. They could definitely try and pierce their way through this flank and try and take out some of the Last Alliance General bodyguard. Would not be a bad plan. Looks great as well with all the glittering because both sides are using very, you know, similar equipment, I will say. One's gold, one's silver. But it's kind of cool to see, you know, that just glimmering in the sun. And I love the lighting in this battle as well. I wish the lighting could be this great every single time. Another archer volley going off, trying to pick away some more of the lightly armoured Corsairs, more infantry turning up as well. Take a look at the global battlefield. We can see that, yeah, this left flank is starting to crumble, but we do have Harad trying to supply. The center has been broken back here as they chase down more missiles. And we're actually seeing some of the war dogs as well. Let's see how the war dogs are faring over in the center. It looks like they've kind of managed to break through the Last Alliance infantry right now. So they've kind of cut them in two right now. The Last Alliance has kind of their left flank and also their right flank. The right flank is kind of winning, but our center has been completely crumbled. So if we start to see more infantry kind of coming over to supply, then that could definitely change up the outcome of this battle. They do definitely need to still win this engagement though first. You got some of the war dogs just chasing down, unable to be reined in. Oh, I've got that sound! Jesus, I don't want to hear that at 12 o'clock in the morning or in the afternoon. So they really need to just clear up this battlefield, maneuver their men round, and try and push on. The nice thing is as well, like, I love how they've used just this map, not even for the castle, but just for this awesome, like, open plain with, like, the woodland and the river. That's really cool. This entire flank has been completely smashed by the Last Alliance. Hopefully they're faring better over here as Doamroth will really start to commit their infantry against the men of the Easterlings. You can obviously see the iconic Easterling halberds. Oh, that's some brutal assaults. I mean, these guys are basically impenetrable from the front, even against heavy elite infantry that the Doamroth have. But as you can see, they're just being mowed down right now. We do also have some cavalry as well in here. The heavy Eastling cavalry with their maces. Great armor-piercing units. Also, look how big that shield is upon the horse. Like, it just makes him extremely hard to kill. Because how are you supposed to strike at this guy? Like, you can't reach his head, so that shield covers everything. What are you going to do? Try and kill the horse? Well, the horse is covered in armor as well. So, yeah, very, very tanky units right there. More of the halberds being committed, and this is great for the Easterlings. Engaging just heavy infantry with their halberds. It's like the best unit they really want to commit. Doamroth are using that exact same tactic though against the Eastling heavy infantry here. It looks like the Eastling infantry is kind of faring well. However, we're about to receive another halberd charge in the back. Yeah, the Eastling infantry is not doing too badly. Rest of the battle though, how's it faring for them? It looks like the Eastlings are kind of... I don't know, this battle on this side could go either way. The Last Alliance, though, has completely smashed the Harad forces. I think that kind of... They just have a better quality of men over here and kind of committed to it heavily. They kind of did end up losing the center because of it, but because they managed to win that right flank, they could commit all of these soldiers over. So if the Eastlings want to win this, they need to quickly dispatch whatever's left of Doamroth and then commit their men round elsewhere. I definitely think it's doable. However, the balance of power does not think so. They are outnumbered over 2-1 now. Maybe they can simply just fall back and live to fight another day. I still can't believe as well that Doamroth Knight unit is killing an entire unit. Like, maybe if it was lightly based in its stance, like, as in they're not in shield wall, but I'm pretty sure that unit was in shield wall. And they just ripped through them. Maybe it's because they were just trying to form, like, there's like a cooldown. They were trying to form shield wall and just didn't get enough time to complete the action, to where the extra bonuses supply. Fighting is brutal right now. The Last Alliance has reformed up their battle lines and are marching their way over. We also actually do have the enemy general, as I said, who's just died, being killed right here. But he was holding up a large portion of the Last Alliance army, so good on him for keeping that at bay. I also really enjoy the order in these battles, you know. They didn't just throw over all their units, you know, they formed up and they're advancing their armies, you know, in columns and other assault positions. I like that a lot. Dor Amroth simply just need to hold their line for as long as possible. As long as they can keep the armies, together, keep their coherence, reinforcements on the way. I mean, this battle, I think this battle was pretty even. Because, as you can see, like, the last of the Eastling forces are clearing up over here, and then the Dor Amroth infantry over here. But Dor Amroth only really have a handful of archers really left remaining. The Elven cavalry, though, are going to kind of finish up the Eastling general unit. I think he's already dead, though. They're just going to run through them, killing most of them on the go. They're going to be trying to fight, but the rest of the Eastern cavalry is going to turn up, and they're basically just going to bum rush the general, routing him. That's going to be pretty devastating for the morale. We also have more cavalry here as well. Oh, one of the generals died. Oh no, the Dor Amroth general died fighting for his men. That's awesome. He was like, men, we will stand our ground here until the reinforcements arrive. And it cost him his life, but his men held. His men held until reinforcements had arrived. I mean, the moment they're just standing there, I mean, maybe they're getting their energy back, but I feel like they just need to charge their way in. There we go. Now they're making their way in to reinforce. And it's basically just a rout for Harad. I'm assuming as soon as Harad, they're like, oh, what are the orders from Harad? Did they win? They can't even see. That's what I really dig as well. Like, they can't even see what happened over here. There's no messenger came whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, you just see these soldiers from the Last Alliance marching towards you. And you slowly start to see banners coming over the hill. And they're just going to rout as soon as the infantry in the distance make their way up and them soldiers appear on the hill. Victory! Victory and honor! That's awesome. There we go. The battle is going to be over. A pretty convincing victory there for the Last Alliance, considering this was an ambush by the Easterlings in the lore of the battle. They did really, really good. So I'm hoping we'll be able to see the kills. Yes, we will. We have to do some fancy stuff to get the replay to work, but we can see the kills, which is absolutely awesome. We'll start off with Dor Amroth on their front line. Where's that cavalry unit? Probably one of these, right? You've got the entire kills on the entire infantry unit. Very, very good. Always expect them to do great. And the rest of the infantry doing pretty decent as well. Last Alliance, 252 kills on that unit. Wow. That is probably the highest. All of this Dor Amroth men-at-arms or Dunedain men-at-arms doing amazing. Over on the Eastling side, we've got a few 150 kills, 175 on this unit. Remember, the general cavalry, or just the cavalry in general, getting 266 kills. And then finally, the forces of Harad doing very well as well. 156 on these Knights of the Heaven. And then we also have, some good kills on these champions, 160, not too bad whatsoever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.